What personality trait rubs you the wrong way?
有什么个性的特质会让你觉得不舒服或许不喜悦？ That's kind of what we're going to be talking about in our live stream today.
That's right. Some personality traits or characteristics, no matter who does them, are always going to make you mad. Maybe it's laziness or miscommunication. These things just really bother you. My name is Anne-Marie, everybody, and I am so excited to talk about this topic today. It is one of my favorite topics.
And my name is Gabe, and welcome to the Studio Classroom live stream here today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are joining us, would you please tell us where you're from? A lot of our viewers are here in Taipei, but of course, if you're living somewhere else, then write that in the comments below. We'd love to see where you are from. And just drop a little hi for us.
We also have a poll that we want you to take. That is a question that we need you to answer. This question is, have you ever taken a personality test? Now, there are so many different kinds of personality tests, right?
That's right. So 你自己有没有做过一个个性的测验或测试? And there are different kinds. We're going to talk about a few of them in today's live stream. One in particular appears in our September issue of the Studio Classroom magazine. It's talking about the Myers-Briggs personality test. I took this personality test when I was in high school. It's probably the first personality test I remember taking in my life.
I took this one as well. It's been a few years for me as well. I kind of wonder if I would get a different score if I took it now than when I took it maybe 5 or 6 years ago, though.
Yeah, do you think that taking personality tests is fun? I think it is interesting, and I'm with you. I think that it would be interesting to see how the results are different now if I took the test than when I took it a long time ago, because we change over time.
We sure do. Before we move on, let's define what a personality test is actually for. A personality test is a way to measure a person's motivations, their preferences, their interests, their emotional makeup, and most importantly for our live stream today, how they interact with other people, how they get along with others.
That's right. So briefly, a personality test is 性格测验或性格测试. And, you know, it's good to take personality tests, we believe, in order to become more self-aware, because self-awareness is really important. That is 自我意识. What is a good definition for self-awareness?
Well, it's knowledge and understanding of your own personality, things that you do, things that you're good at, things that you might not be so good at, and things that you prefer, or people that you prefer to work with or prefer to have relationships with.
That's right. So, do you consider yourself a self-aware person?
Let us know below if you think you're self-aware.
Yeah, that's right. Write yo down below. Y-O. Write yo. If you consider yourself self-aware. So we have someone from Selena-san, thank you so much for joining us here today from the Changchun, Chongchan district here in Taipei.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. So we want to talk about different types of personality tests as well, because we just mentioned this Myers-Briggs one, but another one that my church a long time ago had us take was called the DISC personality test.
You were telling me about this the other day. The DISC personality test only actually has 4 different categories, right?
That's right. I believe they are dominant, influencer, steady or stability, and then what's the C stand for?
Conscientiousness?
Conscientious. I think there's another word
in
there as well. I didn't get the C, so I forget what the C stands for.
I took the test last week just because you told me about it, and I thought it sounded interesting, and I don't quite understand completely how to break it down, but it seems like this test is really good to measure how you work with others.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, a lot of personality tests will show you a little bit about that, you know, not only about who you are, but also how you might interact with others in a, you know, professional setting, or maybe how you would do academically, that kind of thing. Another one that you really like is the Enneagram.
I love the Enneagram. This is something that I've read a lot of books about, and I have done a lot of just research about myself because it is so interesting to me. The idea for an Enneagram test is that every person has certain internal motivations.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what their behavior is, the motivations for doing things a certain way or interacting with others a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
that motivation won't change even if their behavior does.
Right, okay, so 每一个人做任何事情都会有他的动机，对不对? So that's what we're talking about with motivations for doing different things, or even, how you react in certain relationships,
That's right.
And the other one we want to talk about today, there of course are several, but the other one is the Myers-Briggs test. And in case you missed it earlier, that is on page 38 of our Studio Classroom September magazine. The Myers-Briggs test identifies individuals' preferences in 4 key areas. So they're kind of contrasting areas, right? Extroversion versus introversion. That is, are you 外向 or 内向, right? Sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, and judging versus perceiving.
That's right. So specifically today, what we want to talk about when it comes to the Myers-Briggs test is, are you introverted or extroverted? I want you to tell us in the comments below which one you think you are. Are you more of an introverted person or an extroverted person? Now, I will have to say, I've noticed over the years that the way people understand introversion and extroversion sometimes isn't exactly right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that sometimes people think that introverted people are automatically shy.
Sure. Yeah.
And they can be.
Yeah, that's right. Shy people tend to be introverted, but not all introverted people are shy in social gatherings, right? There are different indicators, and kind of for extroverted people, 外向的人, people tend to think of them as, 他们就是一直喜欢讲话, and they always love to be the center of attention, that kind of things. 有一些刻板印象, 对不对? These are some stereotypes when it comes to introversion and extroversion.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know if you're an extrovert or an introvert? Well, we have some fun phrases in English that we'd like to teach you to that kind of have to do with this.
That's right. So if you are introverted, it means you get your energy from being by yourself and thinking deeply. And if you're extroverted, it means that you get your energy from people. So after you hang out with people, you might feel really excited and ready to talk more. But if you're introverted, you might enjoy being with people, but after a while, you need some time to yourself to recuperate. But I have seen a lot of introverts come out of their shell when they're around the right kind of people.
他们走出自己的壳. We have this phrase in English. Yeah, if you come out of your shell, or if someone is coming out of their shell, you can kind of imagine a turtle who is very shy. So he keeps his head and legs inside of his shell, right? That's when he's very shy and doesn't want to be around people. But if you're coming out of your shell, that means maybe you are usually shy, or you used to be shy, but for some reason, now you're comfortable. 你现在比较自在. So you are coming out of your shell.
I think that's the key word there, is comfortable. People usually come out of their shell because something or someone makes them feel more comfortable. Now, extroverts, I would say, are oftentimes thought of as the life of the party. If you are the life of the party, it means that if there is a social gathering, you're probably the one that is making people laugh. You're the one who is suggesting to play a lot of games or have lively conversation. Is that you? Are you the life of the party? If you think you might be the life of the party, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, you can be the life of the comments section below.
Please.
Thank you very much. And if you're usually shy, well, maybe you can come out of your shell and leave a comment for us as well. Say, I would like to come out of my shell. Because a lot of people do, right? Another great phrase for you to know is kind of talking about how someone doesn't want to share much with other people, right?
They like to keep to themselves. If you keep to yourself, it means you keep your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts to yourself. And sometimes it can even mean that you separate yourself from others, especially in social situations.
That's right. Maybe it could cause others to feel like there's kind of a distance between you and them if you keep to yourself. But in general, it could also be a wise thing that some people do, because after all, it takes time to build trust with other people. So once there is trust established in a relationship, 当你知道你可以信任别人的时候, then usually even very shy people or introverted people, maybe they won't keep everything to themselves, right? They will open up a little bit more.
That's true. Well, speaking of opening up, Selena says that it is a lifelong learning for social relationships, that balance between being outgoing and introverted. That is so true.
That's true. Well, there's something else that we want to talk about here, and this is the idea of being 非常自在, right? So if you are in your element, that means you're really comfortable in a certain situation. And this is different depending on your personality.
That's totally true. And you can be in your element whether you're introverted or extroverted. This phrase isn't just for social situations either. Maybe if somebody has a new job and they get to do a very specific thing at that job, or get to do a very special assignment at school, and all of a sudden when they're doing that job or that assignment, they do a really amazing job, they're really happy, and they're very successful. You would say about that person, they are in their element.
That's right. When do you feel like you're most in your element? 你什么时候觉得你最自在, right? Maybe leave that in the comments below as well, because like I said, it is different. The answer is different depending on who you are. For some people like me, I love being around other people because when I'm talking about an idea and then I can hear other people's feedback to that and we can kind of bounce off each other, I feel like I'm in my element in a social setting where there are lots of other people around.
You sure are. That's definitely true. Okay, well, we have another question, and that is, how can knowing someone's personality help you get along with them? What do you think about this question? How does knowing someone's personality help you get along with them or not get along with them? We're going to talk a little bit about personality types and communication styles.
That's right. Communication styles. You know that question we asked earlier? Does someone or a personality trait rub you the wrong way? Well, that's a great phrase to know. Rubbing, of course, is when your skin comes in contact with something else, right? And so, for example, rubbing alcohol, it's called rubbing alcohol because you use the alcohol to rub on a surface.
This phrase always reminds me of my cat.
Why?
Well, because when you pet a cat, you have to pet the cat in the right direction, right? Cat's fur goes in one direction, but if you pet a cat or rub a cat the wrong way, it's really uncomfortable for the cat. They're going to get angry. They're going to get annoyed. And that's basically what this phrase means in English.
I wonder if this phrase came from a cat. Because when cats are rubbed the wrong way, when they're pet the wrong way,
they are not happy.
They really don't like it.
So, friends, what personality traits rub you the wrong way? Are there certain things that other people do, maybe not just one person that you don't like, but a trait that is found in a lot of different people that really rubs you the wrong way? It's just something that you don't like.
Yeah, again, this is different from someone's weakness. 每一个人都有他自己的缺点，对不对? But we're talking about personality traits, 性格的一些特质. It's actually not a bad thing, but it happens to rub you the wrong way. Okay, so for example, for me, I like kind of being free, and so if someone has a personality trait or type where they love to stick to the rules, that could rub me the wrong way.
We have a really great comment here from Evangeline, and she has actually taken the Myers-Briggs type indicator test here. She is an INFP. Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, I think we need to answer the question now before we move on. Is there a personality trait that rubs you the wrong way? You said someone who follows the rules. Is that one of the main ones?
Well, yeah, for me. And again, it's okay if they follow the rules, all of the rules, and they feel like they need to. But when they kind of make it seem like everybody else around them needs to always just follow exactly what was laid out, that can kind of rub me the wrong way.
For me, it's complaining, but not doing anything about it. So like if someone has to vent to me or get something off their chest, they need to tell me something, that's okay. But if they're asking me for advice or they don't actually want to solve the problem and then they don't take my advice, that really rubs me the wrong way.
Right, 所以不要只是发泄，对不对? That's normal, 但是你还要想办法就是进步, right? You want to find some way to improve. By the way, Evangeline, we are very similar because I am an ENFP. And actually, people with N and F often get along together. Pretty well together. Another, great thing for you to learn, this phrase is personality clash, because personalities, like we saying, there's nothing wrong with personalities in general. God created lots of different personalities, but sometimes when two certain personalities get together, it can feel like there is a clash. Clash 就是冲突，所以就是个性的冲突。
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, friends, we don't have a lot of time left, but if you have a question for us, go ahead and drop it in the comments right now. We just want to remind you that we're going to have another live stream, and that is coming up on September 16th at our Let's Run event.
That's right. Hey, even if you didn't sign up for Let's Run to participate in a race, it's okay. We'd love to see you there if you can join us. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of people. Maybe that might make some of you nervous because you're more shy and you don't like to come out of your shell. But maybe you can come out of your shell that day and come and hang out.
And, of course, we are talking about personality tests, which was in one of our articles today in the September issue of Studio Classroom Magazine. So if you don't have a September magazine yet, go ahead and pick that up. Although we are coming out with our October magazine just next week, I think.
Yeah, the October magazine is coming out very soon. You know what, Anna-Marie, let's end on a positive note with personalities here, because there's this great phrase that I think that everybody should know.
What's that phrase?
And that is to bring the best out in other people, or to bring the best out in each other.
I love being around people that bring out the best in me. It means that when they're around me, I want to play to my strengths. I want to do the things I'm really good at, do them to the best of my ability, and not really use those negative parts of my personality as much. I really like being around people who bring out the best in me.
That's right. Everybody does. And it's important to find people in your life that can really bring out the best in you. People tend to find spouses, that is husbands or wives, that bring out the best in themselves as well, because nobody likes it when the worst things come out of themselves. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us here for our live stream. And for those of you who are going to join later, thanks for watching. We hope that this has been helpful.
We'll see you on September 16th.
That's right.